All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 2 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight, right here on the X Zone Broadcast Network from our studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streaming at 1220.ca. If you'd like to send me an email, the email address is xzone@classic1220.ca. A little bit of housework before we get to my special guest this hour. The X Chronicles newspaper for April is now available online, and it's 100% with our compliments. And all you need to do to read it, go to www.xchronicles.net. That's xchronicles.net. Click on the link and you'll be able to read it online, and you can read it as many times as you want. Please share the link. It's 92 pages, full color. And we've been publishing the X Chronicles newspaper now for over 35 years. How do I feel old? Good thing I started very young, right? Yeah, I wish. Anyway, it's there for each and every one of you to read with our compliments and the compliments of the advertisers. Exonation, my guest this hour is a gentleman we have on the show whenever we can. His name is Paul Dale Roberts. He is in Elk Grove, California. And Paul has got to be one of the busiest paranormal investigators that I know. He goes all over the country investigating, and he uses his professional investigative abilities to try and solve some of the many paranormal anomalies that we are faced with these days. So joining me now is my friend Paul Dale Roberts. Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
Hey, Rob, how you doing? And, you know, you're talking about the newsletter. That newsletter is fantastic. I mean, it's like getting a book online all about the paranormal. I love it.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words. I really appreciate that. In fact, when we first published the X Chronicles going back 35 years ago, we did it in print. And it was available across Canada and in the United States. I believe there were a few places. And what we're going to be doing again, starting in June, we'll make the print version available, 92 pages in full color. And it'll be available in stores across Canada, the United States. And of course, if you'd like us to mail you a copy, we'll do it. But my question is, why buy a copy when I give them away here on air?
Yeah. And also, too, I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah.
Are all the back issues, which you have a lot, are they on the Internet Archive?
Yes, they are. All you need to go is to relmar.com and click on our electronic bookcase. Not only are the X Chronicles there, Paul, but there's also the books that we publish, because Relmar is also a full-fledged publishing house. We publish print as well as digitally for our many clients.
Wow, I absolutely did not know that. Well, thank you, Robert.
Yes, please. And Exonation, please go there once again. All the editions of the X Chronicles newspaper that are online, there is no charge, because we want to get the word out there. We want people to know both sides of a story. And this is what we try to do each and every edition. And each year we put out 13 issues. And of course, here on the X Zone News, on the X Zone Radio Show, we try to do the same thing. And that's why we bring special guests like Paul Dale Roberts on, who's with us this hour. Last week we had a former RCMP corporal who runs PPRI in Nova Scotia, Elliot Van Dusen, on. We've also had Mark Anthony on. We try to get you, our listeners, the very, very best. I'm not here to force feed you. I'm not here to tell you, you should believe this or you should believe that. That is up to you. What we do, we get the guest to come on and give their version of what happened. And it's up to you, the listeners, to make up your own mind. And that's what we do here, Monday through Friday, from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight. Quick question for you, Paul.
Sure.
First of all, congratulations on your new puppy, Ivory.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
A lot of talk up here this week and coming up to Monday, April the 8th, when we're going to have the total solar eclipse. And here in Niagara, it's one of the best spots to view the eclipse. And we've got over 1 million people from everywhere else coming down to Niagara Falls. The region has declared this an emergency preparedness situation. What is your take on the solar eclipse? A lot of people are saying, there's going to be the return of the demons, demonic entities, the UFO alien invasion. Let me see, what are some of the other things that people are saying? There's going to be a big crack in the earth, and the demons from hell are going to come on the planet. And I feel like telling them, well, you're a little late on that one. It happened a long time ago. What do you make about all the hype about the different eclipses?
I mean, the eclipse, it's a very fascinating sky show. And if you have your eclipse type glasses to look at it, and you don't do what former President Trump did and look at it with your bare eye. I don't know. Over here in Sacramento, California, it's an event they said it's going to last about 2 hours and a half. But the actual full eclipse, which you're probably getting to see, and we don't see, we get a partial eclipse, is just going to last for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I really don't think anything's going to happen. It's almost like everybody who predicts the end of the world, and that's been predicted thousands of times over, and then the next day comes and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Same thing with this eclipse. It's spectacular, but I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think any kind of earthquake's going to happen, and the earth opens up and a bunch of demons come out. I think the very next day it'll be normal.
Well, I don't know if we can call anything these days normal, but it is a good thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Paul, you've been really busy over the last couple of months since I last talked to you. What kind of investigations have you been up to? Anything that is really startling and that even surprised you, a seasoned investigator?
Well, I'm lately, because I've been busy a lot with I've been working for 3 magazines.
Wow.
Phenomena magazine out of England, Paranormal Underground magazine here in the United States, and another magazine is called Outer Limits magazine out of England. And I work for the Costa Rica Times. So I've been very, very busy just getting all these paranormal stories together and for these magazines. So I haven't been on any investigations, but I've been an armchair investigator. So what I've been doing is sending out people, my investigators, to various investigations. And one of the ones that we got was in Los Banos. and I sent San Jose Paranormal, which I actually trained to be ghost hunters. I sent them on the case, and they were very successful.
Mm-hmm.
It was a home that was bought back in May 2023, and the wife saw an apparition in the kitchen. The baby stroller moved on its own. This guy's fiance, started acting real strange, and she was rambling incoherent things. And then one day she looked at him. She goes, "I will show you who I really am."
Ooh.
And she was placed in a psycho type hospital.
Right.
Yeah, because she was acting really, really crazy, doing crazy things. Anyway, they did, my team, San Jose Paranormal, they did some research and they found out a Ronald E. Williams, an Army Ranger, in 2013 died in that house. He actually lived in that house. And then right in the backyard, from the backyard, there's a park.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little kid on a bike that was ran over by a car. So that's 2 deaths, one in the house by that Ronald E. Williams, Army Ranger, and then the kid in the back of the house who got ran over by a car. And so anyway, I talked to the occupant, Jordan Warden, and I told him how he could self-bless his house. So he did that. San Jose Paranormal did a metaphysical type cleansing. And I received an information from Jordan Warden and his friend Nick Azevedo, who actually witnessed some of the paranormal events in that house. And they said that everything is calmed down. The fiance is acting normal again. They had a video of the door opening and closing on its own. And they said that the activity, is still there, but it's not at a high level like it was. So that one's been taken care of. Yeah.
All right, so stand by, my friend. We've got to take our commercial break, and always a great pleasure talking to you, Paul. Thanks for making time to join us tonight at Exo Nation. If you'd like to visit Paul's Facebook page, it's facebook.com/Paul D Roberts 545. And of course, we'll have all this information available to you on our website. Paul Dale Roberts is our guest. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you around the world from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, right here on the X Zone Broadcast Network and on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, streamed at classic1220.ca. Whatever you do, don't go away. Don't get abducted by aliens. Don't fall into a black hole. We'll be right back. Oh, come on, gang. It's not the end of the world, for goodness sake. I'm going to tell you, Exo Nation, I'm not a psychic. Everybody knows that. I'm not a medium. Everybody knows that because I'm an extra large. I'm a big guy. The world is going to be the same before the eclipse as it is after the eclipse. Sorry, guys. It's going to be the same. We're still going to have to pay our mortgages. We're still going to have to, pay our income tax. Oh my God, it's that time of year again anyway. It'll be the same. We hope, now when I say we, I'm talking about the X Zone Broadcast Network, Relmar McConnell Media, and of course our very good friends at Classic 1220. We hope you enjoy your stay here in Niagara. We love visitors who come to Niagara, St. Catharines, Welland, Port Colborne, Fort Erie, Niagara-on-the-Lake, and Niagara Falls. You're always welcomed here. But it's going to be a little difficult this time because they've already announced there's going to be certain roads that are blocked. The preparedness of law enforcement is all in place. Fire crews, EMS, police, everything is in place because we're going to be having more than an extra 1 million visitors here this weekend going into Monday. So expect traffic jams, but be patient. When you get in your car, the first thing you should do is turn your radio on to AM 1220, and that's where you can listen to all the great programs we have here on your hometown radio, Classic 1220. Enjoy your day, enjoy your stay, and just be patient. It'll all work out in the end, and you'll see I'm right, that Niagara Falls will not stop flowing. The gates of hell will not open. Jesus won't be coming. No, it's not the second time, and it's not the end of the world. Enjoy. Sleep well tonight knowing that all is well in the world because you heard it here on the X Zone. Paul, welcome back. And that was quite a case that you and the people in San Juan investigated. Do we know how or why the entity targeted this family?
It seemed like Ronald E. Williams, the Army Ranger that lived in that house and died, was a very troubled man. He had PTSD from the Vietnam War.
Oh my God.
And they said that when he was living, he was a very angry man. So I believe that everything generated from this angry spirit and somehow probably possessed the woman of the house for her to say, I'm going to show you who I really am. I mean, that's kind of freaky. And
that's what my wife says whenever she sees our bank account.
Oh yeah. So so anyway, basically, I told the guy, Jordan Warden, how to send him into the light. He did a self-blessing on the house. San Jose Paranormal, they did their own metaphysical cleansing. So the activity actually simmered down. So with the closet door opening and closing, that could probably be the child spirit, which is not an angry spirit. So that's what I think it is. And we had another case. This one is really interesting. It was in Oak Park, California. And the lady that lives there, her name is Rosie. And her tenant below the house is 100-year-old house. And her tenant below was a witch.
Ooh.
And she created a Dybbuk's box because she was mad at her landlord, which is Rosie, and cursed her. So they started having all kinds of weird things happening. They had a handprint on the wall that just appeared out of nowhere. Shadow entities were seen in the house. So cabinets were opening up. They were being touched. Rosie's granddaughter was actually assaulted by an entity. So I sent my team down there. And in case they're listening, it was Tanya Bradbury, Sean Bradbury, Zandine Smith, Rachel Palazzi, and Tina Wise. And they did an outstanding job. They did a nice investigation. They got some EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, showing that there was actually something in that house. They actually, Tanya actually talked to the woman who was a proclaimed witch and calmed her down and convinced her to allow her to bless that part of the house. So they did the first floor and the second floor, bless the house. Rosie sent them a really nice message thanking them, saying that they did an outstanding job, that the entities were gone. They were now communicating. She was now communicating with the tenant below her, and the curse has been lifted. So, yeah, so that was a very successful case.
You know what I've noticed, Paul? You're a former military officer. First of all, thank you for your service over the many years that you served. I'm noticing, I'm noticing that a lot of military people are now investigating the paranormal. For example, here on the network we have Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Randall, who's retired. He's been investigating Roswell since, oh gosh, I don't know. And then you, a former member of the military, and then we have law enforcement officers who are taking a very serious look into the paranormal and becoming investigators, such as Larry Lawson of he does the Paranormal Stakeout radio show, and I was just talking to Elliot Van Dusen, who is a former RCMP corporal. What is the draw, in your opinion, of professionals like yourself and the gentleman that I mentioned into investigating the paranormal?
It's probably because every military base is haunted. And the reason why it's haunted is because you go to a military base, no matter what the military base is. I've been to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and people always talk about paranormal things that happen at these bases. And the reason why is because you have soldiers or sailors who commit suicide. There's murder on the base. There's training accidents where soldiers or sailors die. So you have a lot of deaths at every single military base. And even on these ships like the USS Nimitz, my brother-in-law, Robert Mitchell, he served on the USS Nimitz. And he told me, he says, Paul, he says the USS Nimitz is very haunted. And the reason why it was haunted is because they had a plane crash where 14 people died on the US Nimitz.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And the sailors, the flight crew, the ones that died, the 14 dead, their faces would appear on reflective surfaces. So let's say they would walk into a restroom, in the mirror they would see their dead comrade in the mirror.
Oh my gosh.
And the USS Nimitz is actually an attack nuclear powered warship, and that's where they saw that Tic Tac UFO.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know this, but on the USS Nimitz, one of the sailors that served there was a serial killer. That was John Eric Armstrong, and he killed 5 prostitutes in Detroit. He killed 2 people in Seattle, Washington, and one of them was a transsexual. And they believe that every time the USS Nimitz docked someplace, that he killed somebody overseas.
Wow.
And they would see like a ghost of a woman on the USS Nimitz, and they believe that is a murder victim of John Eric Armstrong, a serial killer that served his time on the USS Nimitz.
You know, speaking about ships, the Queen Mary that is docked in, I forget where in California, it is haunted. And I'm wondering, why is the Queen Mary haunted? Like, as far as I know, there haven't been murders committed on it. And yet, reports of the haunting of little children. There's apparently a haunting that goes on in one of the pool areas. Why is it some places, like the Queen Mary, where there is apparently no connection with any horrific crime, and yet they get haunted. Is there something that attracts these ghosts or these entities to these specific locations?
From what I've seen, like in my investigations, if a person who's living somehow has an attachment to something they really like, um, when they depart from this earth, they have the ability to go to that place that they really enjoyed, and possibly on that ship, which is somewhere in Southern California. I forget where it's at. Um, there's haunting of people who actually enjoy going on that cruise line. So that's one of the things that I discovered in my investigations.
Well, I guess if you're going to haunt a ship, if you're going to spend eternity haunting something, a cruise ship wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. And I investigated the USS Hornet, but there was deaths on there. There was, I think, a couple suicides.
Oh, gosh.
There was some training accidents. It also too served, I believe, in World War II, and there was deaths of some sailors on that ship. So,
Paul,
that ship was very haunted.
Paul, we have to take our break. First of all, thanks very much for joining us. And Exo Nation, we'll be back on the other side with more fascinating stories from our guest this hour, Paul Dale Roberts. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone Broadcast Network. And we're coming to you from the studios of your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streaming classic1220.ca from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
Population common food, but it'll do. Save yourself, serve yourself, world serves its own needs. Listen to your heartbeat, dummy with the rapture and the reverend and the right. You patriotic, slam, fight, bright, light, feeling, pretty sight. It's the end of the Earth changes. You're cracking me up. I'm starting to hear about all sorts of weird stuff. It's the bombs, it's the comets, it's the dark days upon us, or so say the folks who all quote Nostradamus. Earth changes, oh prophets of doom. It sounds like disaster is your favorite tune. If it makes you feel better, get it out of your system and tell us about the next big cataclysm. Okay, the poles they will shift and volcanoes will bellow. LA's gonna disappear, New York turn to jello. There'll be tidal waves, earthquakes, fissures and cracks. The earth's gonna be screaming, you can all kiss my exes goodbye, bye, bye. Earth changes. If it's like they said, then there's no use hiding out under your bed. But don't get depressed and run right off to the bottle. The earth's trying to tell us it's time to remodel. Earth changes. Less greed would be nifty, and how's about peace for a big polar shifty? A whole lot more love and a big dose of patience, coming alive to the joys of creation. Earth changes, and so can we, for all of the changes are in you and me. With so much sweet love, is it really surprising? A new earth is dawning upon the horizon. Earth changes. Earth changes. Earth changes.
Welcome back to the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. Paul Dale Roberts is our special guest. And the song that I just played coming back into this segment, I let it play in its entirety because it was written and performed by a very well-known guest here on the X Zone, Michael Horn. And Michael has always been welcomed here on the X Zone. He is the North American representative for Billy Meyer in Switzerland, and the Billy Meyer UFO incident is well known throughout the UFO community. So to Michael Horn, thank you, Michael, for that song and for allowing us to play it whenever we want. Paul Dale Roberts, welcome back, my friend. Hey, Paul, can you tell me about the Green Valley Vortex?
Oh, absolutely. And I just have to ask you one
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls. How close are you to Niagara Falls?
Oh, about 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay. I flew over Niagara Falls and flew over Buffalo, New York, but I didn't ever want. I would love to visit Niagara Falls, actually go there, but that place is very haunted.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, yeah. And then also all the people who went over Niagara Falls in a barrel, and the ones that didn't survive, supposedly they still haunt the area of Niagara Falls.
The legends are very well known to the residents down here, and there are a number of tours, ghost tours and paranormal tours that enlighten visitors to the haunted history of Niagara Falls. Because don't forget, we have the Niagara Falls in between Niagara on the Lake and Fort Erie. This is where the War of 1812 was fought.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And you have Fort Mississauga, you have Fort George, and you have Fort Erie. And all of these forts are haunted, very haunted. There have been reports of seeing ghosts dressed in military outfits crossing the roads in the graveyards. The Lundy's Lane Cemetery on Lundy's Lane in Niagara Falls is really haunted. I've gone there a couple of times with television producers to do shoots there, and you're guaranteed to see something. There's a lot of orbs there, and apparitions are not unusual. So yeah, it's really haunted. And Paul, if you ever get down this way, please let me know. I would be so honored to take you on a personal tour.
Oh, I would love that. Oh my gosh. Now you get me all excited.
Ooh.
The Green Valley Vortex. You were asking me about that.
I thought you were going to say the Green Jolly Green Giant there for a second.
The Green Valley Vortex. It's an area above Sacramento. I say it's about 25 miles north of Sacramento, California.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up by Auburn and Colfax. And it's like almost in the shape of a triangle. So it's sort of like a Bermuda Triangle in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody out there listening, and if you want to visit this place after I tell you the story about it, just Google Weimar Institute at 20601 West Paoli in Colfax, California. And you'll find it because you'll be right dab in there. And the Weimar Institute, it looks like a cult thing because they wear strange clothing. So you'll see these people walking around and you'll go, whoa, it's kind of weird. But there's been a UFO sighting there. They've had a cross circle at this location. Ghosts are always seen because they had a tuberculosis cemetery there. So the Weimar Institute, this old building, used to be a place where they kept patients for tuberculosis.
Oh, gosh.
And they would die on the grounds and they would bury them at the cemetery located right next to the building. Now here's the weird thing that happened there. In 1978, and this was actually a newspaper article written in Colfax, and two high school boys said that a blue disc landed out there at the Green Valley Vortex. It landed, and two alien robots actually chased them. And they swear up and down this actually happened. And a Shirley McCormick said that she saw Bigfoot located in that area. And this is the area that it's at It's at the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. So you have Bigfoot sightings out there. You even, as you go up the road and to your right, before you get to Lake Tahoe, people have actually said that they've seen dogmen or werewolves in that location. And if you go further, you got Lake Tahoe, and then of course you have Tessie, Tessie, which is some type of lake serpent.
Right.
So you have that, and you have back at the Green Valley Vortex, you have the Frontier Trail and the Coyote Creek Trail, and a lot of shadow people are seen there. Dinosaur bones of a sauropod was located at Clipper Gap at the Green Valley Vortex. A woman was mauled by a mountain lion at the Green Valley Vortex. And the tuberculosis sanitarium, which is that building, was active during the 1920s and the 1930s. And they have like wooden stakes where the people are buried, wooden stakes with a number, doesn't even have their names. So you don't even know who's actually buried there.
Oh my gosh.
And they have these real crooked manzanita trees that surround the cemetery, and it just gives you a really, really creepy feeling. And a lightning pixie has actually been seen there. So you have all this activity. And so when ghost hunting groups tell me, they go, Paul, I have all this equipment and I got no place to investigate. I said, what do you mean you don't have any place to investigate? You can always go to the Green Valley Vortex because it's open to the public, and creepy things happen there. And I went there with one of my investigators, Mandy Lewis, and we did get all kinds of EVPs. We saw what looked like a shadow person. We felt like we were being watched. As we're walking down this trail, you can hear footsteps behind us, and there was nobody behind us. And then we met all the creepy people that are in that building. And I have no idea what this Weimar Institute is, but it seemed to me like it was some type of cult. So that's a very, very strange place.
It sure as heck sounds like it. And Paul, you and I have to share with the audience that about your new puppy, because I'm sure people are listening and they're hearing the puppy and they're saying, "Oh my God, listen to Rob's stomach." No, it's not my stomach, gang. I had a great supper before I came to work tonight. Tell us about the new addition to your family.
Okay, we had a dog named Story, and he recently passed away. He was diabetic. He had anemia, and he had pancreatitis infection. And we were shocked because when I took him to the vet, I just thought, wow, they'll probably give him a couple shots, give him some pills, and he'll be back to normal. And the vet looked at me and she goes, Paul, we're going to have to probably put him down. I go, oh no. I mean, I just started busting up crying. It was horrible. So the Story was gone. And then one of my friends named Sally Howard, she didn't even know my dog passed away. And she says, Paul, I got this new puppy from my daughter, and it's young, and I have two elderly dogs, and they're just not getting along with the puppy. I don't know what to do. I said, oh my God, are you serious? I said, I'll take the puppy because my dog just died. She goes, what? I go, yes. So it was like a miracle that came upon us. And Irie, that's her name. She's part Shih Tzu and she's part Chihuahua. So she's a Chai Tzu or what. But anyway, she's very active. She gets along with our Chihuahua named Champagne. They play fight all the time. She got all her parvo shots, so she can now go for walks.
Right. Paul, stand by, my friend. We'll continue the story about Irie when we come back from this commercial on Dixo Nation. This is the final segment in this hour, but we have another hour coming up right after this with another great guest. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network, on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streaming around the world on classic1220.ca. Paul and I will be back with Erie on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
I'm starting to hear about all sorts of weird stuff. It's the bombs, it's the comets, it's the dark, dark days upon us. Or so say the folks who all quote Nostradamus. Earth changes. Oh, prophets of doom.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long, I may go wrong and lose my way. Do you know the way to San Jose? I'm going back to find some peace of mind in San Jose. LA is a great big freeway. Put 100 down and buy a car. In a week, maybe two, they'll make you a star. Weeks turn into years, how quick they pass. And all the stars that never were are parking cars and pumping gas. You can really breathe.
Welcome back. That was Dionne Warwick singing Do You Know the Way to San Jose, because there's a lot of paranormal activity there. And our guest this hour is Paul Dale Roberts.
Oh, you brought back some memories with that song. Every time I used to hear that song, I was living in San Bruno, California, which is very close to San Jose. I just wanted to take my 65 Dodge Coronet station wagon, turn it around, U-turn, and head to San Jose.
Hey, I don't blame you, buddy. I love doing my show. I love the music I play because it resonates with so many guests and so many listeners. It's just kind of really fun. Doing a radio show about the paranormal doesn't have to be, ooh, spooky, with all the different sound effects, special effects. No, people. This is what radio's all about. People. And X-Zone Nation, if you like the music, please let us know. X-Zone at classic1220.ca. And in the future, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be going... I'm going to hold that off for a little while because I don't want to get everybody excited. The weekend is here. You've got enough problems on your plates, X-Zone Nation, with what's going to happen Monday with the eclipse. I don't want to put too much food on your plate. I don't want you to get super excited that you can't sleep at night. Oh, well, unless you're a paranormal investigator like Paul Dale Roberts, who investigates all hours of the day and night. And Paul, as usual, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Always a great pleasure talking to you. And congratulations on your new fur baby.
Oh, thank you so much, sir, Rob. If I didn't have her, I would have been very depressed about Story passing away.
It's hard for people who do not have fur babies like you and I do, that they're part of our family.
They are.
They
are.
And when you lose a fur baby, like last year. Oh yeah, it was last year when we lost two of our fur babies, Nikita, who was really sick towards the end, and then Maddie, who was 18 years old. Nikita was 16 years old, and you grieve just as if it's a person because of this little fur baby who gives 7/24, 365 unconditional love is no longer with you, and you feel the void. I know people kind of have said to us, well, come on, it's only a dog. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no such thing as only a dog. This so-called only a dog was part of our family. So please, give people slack and try to understand, try to be empathetic when somebody says, I had to put little Nikita down because they are grieving. They are sad. And when you start talking negative about their feelings, all you're doing is you're adding gas to the depression fire. So please, be empathetic to people who lose their pets.
Rob, can I
Yeah.
add something to that?
Sure, please.
Okay. One of my cases was in Del Paso Heights, and this lady, um, she said her house was haunted.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a picture in her backyard, and I blew up the pictures, and I showed it to my investigator. I said, "What do you see in these two orbs?" They were designer orbs, were very intricate type designs inside.
I've never heard
And
of
she
those.
says, "Yeah," and she goes, "I see dog faces." I said, "So do I." So I went back to the occupant of the house,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "What is it you have in your backyard?" And she says, "I have orange trees." I said, "Yeah, but not the orange trees. What else do you have in your backyard?" She goes, "I have my two dogs buried back there." I said, "Really?" I said, "Take a look at these pictures of these orbs that I took in your backyard." And she starts crying. I said, "Why are you crying?"
Jeez.
She goes, "Those are my dog faces."
Oh, heavens.
Yes, she saw her dogs in those two orbs. That was totally amazing.
So tell me what a designer orb is.
A designer orb is an orb
Mm-hmm.
that have intricate type designs inside of it. So sometimes when you enhance the orb,
Mm-hmm.
the photo, you can see a face in the orb. And a lot of people say, hey, they see faces in the orb. So that's what the designer orb is.
I was going over some of the material that you've sent us over the past, and I'd like to ask you about the, wait a sec, where is it? Spring-heeled Jack.
Oh, Spring Hill Jack. Yeah, on the paranormal hotline, I get calls on the paranormal hotline. And anybody out there, if you got some paranormal activity and you want to talk about it, you can call me on the paranormal hotline, 916-203-7503.
What number
And I
is
had
that,
a lady.
Paul? What number is that? And just repeat it a little slower.
Oh, okay. It's 916-203-7503. And that's the paranormal hotline.
Okay, great. We'll add that to our website.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I got a call from this lady out in Phoenix, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And Phoenix, Arizona is where they saw the Phoenix lights
Yeah.
UFO thing. And she claims that she heard some pounding on her roof. And she thought maybe it was raccoons or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she came outside and she looked on her roof and she saw this creature. It looked like some kind of gnome or elf wearing some strange clothes, had a black cape on, a long pointy nose. And she did, and it leaped. And she said it leaped something like 10 feet in the air onto another roof, another house, and then just vanished. I go, what? And I said, that sounds like Spring-heeled Jack. And Spring-heeled Jack was first sighted in London, England in 1837. And it said that the Spring-heeled Jack had clawed hands, red eyes. It had a breath that when it breathed out, it breathed out fire. It wore a black cloak. It had a helmet and a tight outfit. And it was last seen in England in 1904. And when it was appearing out in England,
Mm-hmm.
it actually attacked two teenage girls. And Spring-heeled Jack was also seen in Czechoslovakia, and they called it Prague, which is the Spring Man of Prague. So now in Phoenix, Arizona, this lady is claiming that she saw Spring-heeled Jack. And Phoenix, with those Phoenix lights and everything else, it's a possibility that she was actually visited by some strange extraterrestrial. So I asked her, I said, if you ever uh, come across it again or see it again,
Hmm.
please notify me. Try to get some photos of it, get some kind of evidence. Um, uh, did you check your roof? Was there any kind of footprints or anything showing what you're saying was actually true?
Wow, that's. How did it get from England over here?
Um, well, it also went from England to Czechoslovakia.
Oh, that's right. It traveled around.
Yeah, and possibly over here. And if it is extraterrestrial or even interdimensional, it can go anywhere in the world.
Wow, I didn't know that. Why? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah there's a lot of mysteries out there,
Hmm.
and it seems that more and more people are sharing the mysteries, uh, looking for other people who have also had the same kind of mysteries. Because I would imagine that a lot of the time, people who have these paranormal experiences, whether they say Bigfoot or a UFO or whatever, they're afraid to say anything because of possible ridicule by family, friends, and the members of the public. So, what would you suggest to people who have had these experiences, Paul, but are afraid? I know one way would be calling your hotline at 916-203-7503. But what can they do before, if they see something tonight, or they see something tonight and they just want to think about it? Did I really see it? Am I imagining things? Was the pizza tainted? Did I drink too much Jack? How can they validate things for themselves?
Well, only okay if you're the only witness. And I had a situation where I was in my vehicle. I was parked in a cemetery, and my windows were rolled up, and I'm the only witness to it. And I did an EVP session. I said, "Is there anyone
Hmm.
here?" And it says, "I'm right here." It sounded like it was coming from the back seat of my car. I was the only witness to it, and I know in my mind it validated the paranormal. So if someone says that they saw something like a spring heel jack or whatever,
Hmm.
I'm not going to, judge them. I'm not going to doubt them.
Right.
They may have actually seen something. I had this one case where the people were saying they saw Krampus. Well, the daughter was playing with the Ouija board and summoned up Krampus.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
Krampus is a fictional creature, but if you really think about it, like a Slender Man or whatever, and it will manifest from your mind, the energy from your mind will create a tulpa.
Paul, you know
And
what? I hate to
yeah,
say this, buddy, but you and I have to say so long for tonight. Have you back on in a couple of weeks so we can further discuss the investigations that you do, as well as bring us up to date on the world of the paranormal.
oh, it sounds good, Rob.
All right, you take care of yourself, Paul. Great talking to you, and congratulations on the new addition to your family.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rob.
Take care, my friend. And Exo
Okay.
Nation, that's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night as we once again cross the time space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight on the X Zone Broadcast Network, coming to you on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streaming classic1220.ca. So until tomorrow night, always keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.